The mindset of a poor person and a rich person are two completely different realities that nevertheless coexist side by side. If you took all the money in the world and distributed it equally among all the people, it wouldn't take a year for that money to be dispersed just as it is now. The rich would have their millions again, and the poor would live in want as before. Why is that? The answer? Money mindset. People who have won huge sums of money in the lottery can hardly be called lucky, because almost all of them not only squandered all their winnings, but also stayed in big debts. A rich person may experience bankruptcy several times during his life, but he always returns to his usual level of material wealth and millions in his bank account in a short period of time. You must be thinking that you want to get rich, but that's not really true. You are not afraid of moneylessness, but of money itself, no matter how strange it may sound to you. Somewhere in your subconscious hides your fears that if you get rich, you are sure to be robbed, cheated, or you will become an alcoholic and drug addict. There are hundreds and thousands of such fears in the mind of an ordinary person. Where in your mind all these money fears come from? Most likely you were born in a not quite rich family, and your relatives, as well as other families around you, broadcast the thinking of poverty, lack. You have contracted all these negative money attitudes from them. You carry the mental programs of a poor person, and the same programs are carried by more than 90% of the population of your country. Not surprisingly, the size of your income and the way you live your life is not much different from these 90% of people. Children often copy the behaviors and thought patterns of their parents. What have you been able to learn from your parents? If your mom and dad were never rich, how could they teach you that? It turns out that you had no one to learn from to create wealth in your life. But you should not blame anyone for this. The main thing for you now is that you consciously decided to correct it and change your thinking in favor of wealth and prosperity. It's all about how your mind perceives the topic of money. Money is just a reflection of your thoughts. Money must first settle in your mind and your lifestyle, and then you will autopilot yourself to create events that will lead you to financial prosperity. The human mind's capable of solving very complex problems. The tandem of consciousness and subconsciousness in your head is an incredibly powerful machine for achieving a variety of goals, and such a task as making money is nothing for this machine. There is a lot of money and opportunities to earn it in the world. Why then do you not see these opportunities in this money? Whether you are rich or poor, every time you are faced with another task in your daily life, you are actually looking for a solution by referring to your worldview in your head. The world picture, that is, the perceptual filters in your mind, are your beliefs, your ideas about the world, about you, about money. And that's where the solution comes to you. That is, you very rarely think about the situation. Ready-made decision comes to you on the basis of your unconscious reactions, and your beliefs, as a rule, you will consider as the only true ones, and you will find them confirmed in the external world. For example, you may carry such beliefs as, big money can only be earned dishonestly. Where there is a lot of money, there are only bandits and thieves. A rich man is always surrounded by danger. Business is difficult. I can't make a lot of money. And if you decide to quit your job and start your own business, you will not be able to objectively assess reality. You will always base your thinking and decision-making on what subconscious attitudes you carry within you at the moment. Ignoring, literally not noticing, safe and easy ways, you will inevitably choose those where you are bound to be deceived, or you will achieve your goal, but at the cost of irreparable losses, which will further reinforce in your subconscious mind your negative beliefs about money. But if you begin to systematically rewrite your money mindset, then your mind begins to work differently, to think and make decisions differently. Then you start to have money. And if you now have a new idea in your head, business is easy and affordable, then in reality you will find confirmation again, but of this new idea. You break this vicious circle with negative attitudes and their confirmations. And then you are surprised to find that your current skills or talents, which you thought were useless, suddenly begin to help you make even more money. A huge disadvantage of almost all money trainings is that they give methods to change actions. Methods among them are found and quite working. But action is only the end result of decisions coming from thoughts and emotions in the mind of a person. That's why these methods are ineffective. It is very difficult for people to almost violently inculcate new models of behavior that are not typical for their thinking. And each of them is sooner or later led away from this path back to the former way of life. Because you can be a wage earner and have no money. And you can be a businessman, but also have no money. Only a few people achieve results at such trainings, those who have iron willpower and the high level of self-discipline. There is another way, effective and, I would even say, fail-safe. It is a change of thinking. You observe and then change what is going on in your head. Thus automatically, without violence to yourself, you begin to perform new actions, which are only a consequence of the new thinking. This method is called Mindscaping, and it is the main technique of this course.